Hello everyone, what's going on? We're doing a review of the Grind Maestro Anniversary Edition. It's been a long time, man. Been reviewing this, like trying to get a review for 2 weeks, and here it is. Once I got in my listening, impressions and experience and everything. First of all, the introduction. This is a limited edition. Grind Maestro Anniversary Edition comes from FATFREQ. I think the price tag is 5.5K dollars, and I'm not really sure if you're nice enough. These guys will probably hook you up with some discount. But anyways, this is a Tribrid IEM with a single DD or dynamic driver for bass, 8 balanced armatures for mids, and 4 ESTs for treble. So a lot of drivers in each side, and the build quality is amazing on these. Honestly, I love the build quality. I think what they were able to do, engraving the set number or unit number, if you could see there, like 029 unit 29 out of like 350. And yeah, so the presentation is top notch. Actually, they went all out. They do include a lot of stuff. This is the box or the case that this comes with. It has the unit number, and out of like 350, as we said, like this is limited to 350 units. One thing that I like just right off the bat, like I don't like what they did, with the like accessory holder. Like this is made out of cheap materials. As you see, things keep falling off. I'm not really happy about this thing. They could have made it out of leather or something. I mean, if you're gonna charge 5,000, I mean, you could have just made it. I mean, this is fine, the plastic thingy, but if this was also plastic or leather to just like hold them nicely. As you see, it's very difficult to get hold of things, and things just keep falling down. And yeah, they do include a lot of stuff. This is the charger for the box that I told you about, guys, before. They have this technology to make it dry, so you need to plug it. I haven't tried that. They do include a lot of toys. I'm not really sure some of these toys do, but as you see, this is, I think, sort of like a dongle from 4.4 to 4.4. So I haven't messed with this yet. This is a free gift. I'm not really sure if it comes with it or just with the GMA early buyers. And also they include another USB Type-C dongle. I think it's a 3.5 to USB Type-C, and the charger is in here that you need to use and plug into the actual bigger case. So yeah, I think they went all out with the presentation. They do include a lot of stuff. By default, I think you get a lot of modules. You do get like the blue as shown here. You do get the Superstage, the black and the silver. So, and also you do get ConX termination. So if you want to unscrew and change the termination, you do get the, some people like to mess with the termination. You can do that. The build quality, as we said, is really nice. I like the build quality, is fantastic. Cable is nice. I think it's just, I could manage. It's not too tangly. It's very nice, and it matches the presentation. It looks good. Tips, I used everything is stock, so to keep this very consistent. For the Superstage modules, there is some like color variant, if you see in there. So just a little bit, if some of you are a freak about, you know, the small details. So yeah, so you do get the Superstage modules, you do get different, you know, termination in terms of you wanted like balance 3.5 and 4.4, which I'm using right now. You also get the vocal switch or tuning switch. I think the build quality on these guys are fantastic. They fit me nice. They're slightly bigger than, you know, the universal Radeon 6 or Xenon 6. So they have some weight just because of all of the, you know, drivers squeezed in those, you know, IEM on these shells. And I love it's, I think it's a titanium, you know, finish, and I think it's nice because it's gonna protect your IEM for a longer time. You do get this, what they call it, bespoke collector's exhibition case, and then you have the metal case, which is the gold one, and then you do get, you know, the impedance adapter, which is I showed you, and then you get the black, blue, and the silver is a limited edition, which is surprising. I didn't know that they, you know, were going to include that one because it happened to be my favorite. They call it the reference limited edition, and they do include a lot of tips I haven't used. I only used the wide ball, you know, tips in large. And the description for the limited edition Superstage and silver reference module, they say unlock expansive 3D imaging with the Superstage module. The integrated gold-plated brass adds warmth and body to the special cues and allowing for lifelike instrument separation and holographic soundstage that draws you into every mix. For the silver module, achieve precision and balance with silver module crafted from lightweight aluminum alloy. This module tightens the low end and reveals micro details for clean, natural tonal response. And I believe this is available in Bloom Audio, United States, and also Music Tech is going to have them. So you have these two sources, and you could buy it from FATFREQ. As I said, this is retails for 5.5. Now that we, you know, done with the introduction, how does it sound? First of all, my impression will be on, you know, all of the modules. Spend some good time with each to give you good impressions, and I don't have enough sources, to be honest with you. I only have the Hy-B R8 Pro version 2 and the R6, you know, Pro version 2 and the Questal M18. And I think if you're gonna buy this, this is first of all very hard to drive, and I think with, you know, like, you know, much stronger dabs, I think there's still potentially some room for enhancement or improvement. Not, you know, it's not sounding amazing with these two dabs, especially the R8. I think it sounds amazing, but if you want to unlock just last bit of details, I think you'd need probably much more powerful dab. In terms of the sound, I think it sounds amazing. It's in the line of like Radeon 6. This is the IEM that I have currently, and I think these two IEMs are kind of similar. They like trade blows, as you say, like they are similar, but they're not the same, but they are similar. You could, like, you know, expect what to get, like, you know, the total sound. You do get the total sound with this IEM, but the thing is, I don't like the black module. I feel like it closes up the presentation. It's too muddy, and it just doesn't sound as good for my liking. So if you like, you know, very spacious, you know, presentation, I would say avoid, you know, the black module. The The Superstage module is very nice, used to be my favorite because it's just like has this very huge stage and crazy depth to that like soundstage. And it's amazing, like it's beautiful what they did with the Superstage module, but the thing is just like it's so big and you cannot wear it like outside. The people will look at you crazy, like what do you have in your ears? But the sound is fantastic. It sounds good. I think it's my second favorite module. And you have the blue. The blue is sort of like shouty. I just like didn't like the presentation. And I know a lot of people gonna ask me in the comments, like I did try the vocal switch, but I didn't mess with it a lot because I just like felt it's too much. The IEM already has good vocals, so you don't need to boost the vocals much. Once you boost the vocals, especially with this like, you know, blue module, you will get like this like OCD vocals definition going on, like you would feel the ad-libs and everything, like it will be very focused on the vocal region, like especially males or females. So didn't like that, so I would rather just have them off and not mess with it much. And that leaves us to the final, you know, module, which is the silver module. This is the last one that I've tried because I thought was just, you know, last minute addition. I thought it was a gimmick. So, but do know that these modules do make a huge difference, that it feels like a different IEM. Unlike things like for audio modules, there is a slight, you know, difference when you changing the modules, like Radon 6 from silver to black to red. Yes, there is a difference, you could feel it, but these have a huge impact on the listening experience. And for me, I felt like the silver was something is exceptional. You know, I do believe like the micro details and the separation and the just super like engaging and fantastic listening experience you get with the servo module, it's the best IEM that I've heard, guys. Like nothing even like, I wouldn't say nothing comes close because it's still, I feel like Radon 6 is a close second, but on the silver module, if they only sold this IEM with this silver module, I will be happy because the separation, the musicality, and this is the only IEM that will make you feel like listening to the old songs for the first time. It's ridiculous. You know that nostalgia feeling when you're listening to your songs and it feels like you listening to it for the first time, which is crazy because of the separation, because of the imaging, because of the huge stage, and like the sounds are coming at you from different directions. I think that's what makes this IEM very unique, and I think that's why I like it on the silver module maybe more than the, you know, Radon 6. Radon 6 is a fantastic IEM, used to be my number one for a long time, and it's finally dethroned by Maestro University Edition on the silver module. And I would say the silver module from FATFREQ is the equivalent of the red module from, you know, FATFREQ. It just renders this presentation and the sound very spacious, very like, you know, full of details, nice separation, great vocals. Yes, the bass, I would feel like, you know, where these two IEMs, they differ. Like, you know, the bass with the Radon 6 has more authority and it's more mid-bassy than sub-bassy. And the stage on the Radon 6 feels a little bit like flatter compared to Maestro. I mean, it's still holographic, it still sounds big, but comparing to Maestro University Edition on the silver, or like I would say the Superstage module, you would get like crazy depth to the stage where it feels like things like swim away from you. Like you would feel like the depth of a stage. You would hear like some details and positioning of things. The instrument separation is crazy. And And yeah, for me, it makes a huge difference, especially the silver module. So if you're gonna get this, definitely ensure getting the silver module because it's something exceptional. And yes, some of you may think that it lacks the bass. I think the bass on the silver module is nice. And then again, with all of the 4 modules, I still think, you know, Radon 6 has a stronger bass, but you know, the Grind Maestro University Edition will still have the better and more holographic presentation. If you care about, you know, 3D sounding stage that is huge with depth and great details, you know, Radon 6 would still have slightly, you know, better details, not because, you know, the Grind Maestro University Edition has less details. It's just like the treble or the highs in here are very smooth, very smooth to a way. It's very hard sometimes to pick up some of the details. They are there, but it's on the super module, it will be a match with the Radon 6, but with different modules, I noticed like the details are very hard to get. Where the Radon 6 are very aggressive IEM, you would get your details, you will get your bass slamming. So for things like rock, metal, you know, some tracks of hip hop, maybe the Radon 6 would be a better pick. But overall, these 2 IEMs are very great. And yeah, the Grind Maestro University Edition would be my #1 as of today. Second would be, you know, the Radon 6. I don't have the Xenon 6, so I cannot compare it. I haven't listened to it for a long time. It's an RMA still. And yeah, it's a fantastic IEM. I think the only IEMs that would top this would be the Moses or the Pilgrim. So I need to listen to these 2 IEMs. In my opinion, I think these 2 IEMs either would be a side grade or could be an upgrade. I cannot tell you because I need to spend more time with them, because Moses probably will have better details than this with the default tuning, like it doesn't have those, you know, modules and, you know, vocal boost switch, whatever the case may be. And this is definitely better than, you know, the Radon 6. It just feels more modern, feels more like, you know, separated. It's just more holographic presentation. It's better than Omnium TI, better than, in my opinion, Project K. It's better than so many IEMs, but if you're gonna get it, make sure that you have very different, like a lot of sources in hand. Like you have, let's say, the High BR8 and some other, like, you know, iBasso, like Top and Dabs, or Aslan and Kern, whatever. Like you need to have a lot of dabs so you could, like, you know, unlock the actual, you know, potential that you want. Because I do feel like this IEM could be much, you know, tweaked a little bit more. Let's say that, like with, you know, with the Quest style, I just didn't like the presentation. I think the presentation was, you know, just not good. You know, you need the dab. I think the R6 Pro version 2 was better sounding, despite this having like 300, I think, and 80 power. It still sounds amazing. But you know, the High BR8 would be the better potential because it will unlock, you know, with the, you know, the turbo mode, would have 25% more, you know, power, and then this IEM will sound amazing. Guys, I was listening to this like 8 hours yesterday with the silver module. I was like, man, that's crazy. Like what them people able to achieve from Singapore, Chinatown, FATFREQ, you know, you have a winner in your hand. This is crazy IEM. Like if you liked the regular Grind Maestro, then you're going to definitely love this, because this is a Grind Maestro on a steroids, and you do get a lot of like tuning and tweakability of the sound, and you do get to play, you know, with the tips. I tried the spin fits. I think it also, there's a lot of tweakability, but just for the sake of this review, I wanted to just use stock tips, stock cable and everything, because I want to be consistent. So we do experience what I experience with the stock, everything. So yeah, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I think this is one of the top IEMs in the world. It's the best IEM that I've heard personally, that doesn't require an Energizer box to drive. So, Radon 6 would be second, and then Xenon 6, but this is fantastic IEM. Again, with the silver module, I think is very, very, I know it's expensive, but if like you would ask me, is it worth, I would say get it. There's only 350 IEMs made, and if you don't like it, you could always sell it, but you could not always go and find for the second hand market. And sometimes you don't trust people how they use their IEMs. For me, I like to buy new, so I would say get it. And as I remember, they said like almost 80% sold out, so I would say just go get it. And I promise you, if you have good sources, you will enjoy this IEM. There is nothing, if you like, let's say U-shaped, sort of like U-shaped, and then when you crank up, the volume to 80, it's sort of like V-shaped kind of listening experience. You'll like get some aggressive listening experience. But I was listening like with this DAB at like, I would say the average was like 75, 70. This is very hard to drive. But yeah, man, the Grind Maestro Anniversary Edition, finally, after a 1 year wait, I think it's really worth it, the wait. And I'm not really sure what they would do after this, because if they made this fantastic IEM and the presentation and everything, just one thing for FATFREQ, I think, later units or later you should be shipping with, a leather holder for the accessories, because this is unacceptable for 5K. It just doesn't look good. You see, it gets damaged easily, and this needs to be, changed. Other than that, the cable, the materials used, you get all the modules by default. I think this is awesome. The box, everything, the gifts, the free gifts, it's amazing. It's one of the kindest people, man. When I met them in Singapore, I'm like, man, it's worth supporting individuals that are super kind and they invite you so warmly. I just enjoyed my time with them, and they were kind enough to let me come like multiple times to their shop and try different IEMs, and also gifted me a case for my birthday, a black one, and did some like special engraving on it. I would say thank you so much, and this is definitely gorgeous IEM. I'm hoping that I do keep it. And so many people ask me, why do you list your IEMs very quickly? Guys, I'm trying to review different things, so if I do sell it, it doesn't mean that it's not good. It's just like I'm trying to move and listen to different things. I want to try the Monarchs, I want to try the Pilgrim, I want to try, the Camber TI, the Omnium TI. I want to get always different things so I could review and benchmark for you guys, so that you could get, the actual sound that you want. But other than that, I'm Mars and I'm out. Please hit me up on Hit5 if you want to discuss why I think this is a fantastic IEM. If you want to ask me, certain songs, I would happily share my information in the description. And thank you for watching.